I want to thank y'all for your patience. You see, this is the blessing and the curse about doing a live show, but it lets y'all know these mics is on for real. Yes, sir. I was just about to get busy on them too, fellas.
Hey, it was time, bro.
Can we still do it, Twin City? Twin City, will you forgive me? I promise it wasn't me. Twin City, E, give me the beat.
The music stopped, the lights froze, and for nearly 10 unforgettable minutes inside US Bank Stadium, more than 45,000 Bruno Mars fans stood in complete silence wondering if one of the biggest concerts of the year had just fallen apart live on stage. What happened next turned an already massive night in Minneapolis into one of the most talked about moments of the romantic tour. The atmosphere inside US Bank Stadium on May 13, 2026 had already reached another level before the unexpected interruption changed everything. Fans packed every section of the stadium hours before Bruno Mars appeared, many wearing retro-inspired outfits, glitter jackets, and custom shirts celebrating the singer's return to Minneapolis. The anticipation surrounding the show had been building for weeks, especially after social media clips from earlier tour stops exploded online. By the time Bruno Mars stepped on stage with the Hooligans, the crowd was fully locked in. The opening stretch of the concert felt polished, explosive, and tightly choreographed. Massive LED visuals flashed across the stadium, while the live band delivered the kind of funk-driven energy fans have come to expect from Bruno's performances. Every transition felt cinematic. Every song triggered deafening screams from the audience, but then came Uptown Funk. The opening instrumental began, fans instantly jumped to their feet, phones lit up across the stadium. The first few seconds sounded normal. Then suddenly something felt off, the sound cut unexpectedly. At first, many in the crowd assumed it was part of the production. But within moments, confusion spread across the stadium. The music stopped completely. Members of the band appeared to look toward the side stage. The giant screens remained on, but no performance continued. Then Bruno Mars and the Hooligans quietly exited the stage. The stadium fell into a strange silence. For a concert built on non-stop momentum and precision, the interruption felt surreal. Fans looked around trying to understand what had happened. Some continued cheering, hoping the pause would only last a few seconds. Others immediately began recording videos, capturing the tense atmosphere inside the venue. According to audience members who later posted online, the pause lasted around 10 minutes. While no official announcement was made immediately, many suspected a sound system malfunction somewhere within the stadium's massive live production setup. It was honestly one of the weirdest moments I've ever experienced at a concert, one fan posted after the show. 45,000 people were waiting in silence at the exact same time. Attendee described the moment as 10 minutes that felt like an hour. The scenes, production crews reportedly scrambled to stabilize the audio systems supporting the show's massive stage design. Large-scale stadium concerts depend on hundreds of synchronized technical elements operating perfectly together. Even a small disruption can impact everything from live vocals to instrument feeds and timing cues. Veteran live music producer Daniel Rhodes, who has worked on multiple stadium tours in North America, explained why moments like this can become extremely tense for performers. When audio fails during a live stadium show, especially during a signature hit, the pressure becomes enormous, Rhodes said. The audience feels it instantly. The artist feels it instantly. What separates elite performers is how they recover from that moment. Recover they did. Without warning, the stadium lights suddenly shifted again. Fans near the front rows began screaming first. Then the roar spread section by section like a wave moving through the building. Bruno Mars and the Hooligans had returned. The reaction inside US Bank Stadium was immediate and explosive. Videos circulating online showed thousands of fans jumping, shouting, and raising their phones into the air as the band walked back onto the stage. Then came 4 words that changed the mood entirely. This is live. The sentence was short, simple, almost casual, but inside the stadium it landed perfectly. The tension instantly disappeared. Instead of frustration, the crowd erupted with even more energy than before. Fans cheered louder than they had all night. In a strange way, the technical breakdown had transformed the atmosphere from a polished stadium spectacle into something raw, unpredictable, and deeply human. Moments later, the opening beat of Uptown Funk returned. This time, the stadium exploded. The crowd sang every lyric back at Bruno Mars with overwhelming force. Videos from the concert show entire sections dancing in sync, while Bruno and the Hooligans attacked the performance with even greater intensity than before the interruption. The choreography looked sharper. The energy looked heavier. Even Bruno himself appeared more fired up after returning to the stage. Music journalist Erica Coleman later described the performance as a recovery that elevated the entire concert. Sometimes perfection creates distance between artists and audiences, Coleman explained during a radio segment discussing the show. But unexpected moments like this remind people they are witnessing something real. Bruno Mars turned a technical problem into emotional fuel. That emotional shift became the defining story of the night. Instead of damaging the concert, the temporary silence made the second half of the show feel bigger. Fans who attended described a visible change in the audience after the interruption. People danced harder, sang louder, cheered longer. Every song afterward carried extra emotion because the crowd understood how close the moment had come to collapsing entirely, and Bruno Mars seemed determined to reward them for staying with him. As the concert continued, the setlist moved through a mix of explosive funk performances and emotionally driven moments from the Romantic era. The lighting softened during slower sections before instantly flipping back into high-energy choreography and live band chaos. What stood out most, according to many fans, was Bruno's ability to maintain complete control over the room emotionally. Even after the technical issue, his confidence never appeared shaken. He joked with fans, moved naturally across the stage, interacted directly with audience members in the front rows. At times, the concert felt less like a stadium performance and more like an intimate live session happening in front of tens of thousands of people. Critics have often praised Bruno Mars for blending old-school showmanship with modern pop precision. But in Minneapolis, fans witnessed something slightly different: adaptability under pressure. Live performance coach and music analyst Terrence Hall said the incident revealed an important side of Bruno's artistry. "A lot of artists can execute choreography and sing hit songs," Hall explained. "But not everyone can survive live unpredictability while keeping the audience emotionally connected. That's where experience matters." Bruno Mars handled the silence without panic, and the crowd trusted him because of it. The concert entered its final stretch. Fans sensed they were watching a performance that would likely become part of tour history. Social media timelines filled instantly with clips from the interruption and comeback. Hashtags connected to Minneapolis began trending among Bruno Mars fan communities online. Many fans specifically highlighted the emotional contrast between the silence before Uptown Funk and the concert's final moments. That contrast became even more powerful during the closing performance of Dance With Me. The explosive chaos surrounding the earlier comeback, the final song carried a softer emotional tone. Stadium lights dimmed. Fans swayed slowly while Bruno delivered the performance with controlled emotion rather than theatrical intensity. For many inside the venue, it felt like the perfect ending. After a night filled with confusion, adrenaline, relief, and celebration, Dance With Me gave Minneapolis a final moment to breathe together. Thousands of phone lights illuminated the stadium as the final lyrics echoed through the building. Several fans could be seen visibly emotional during the outro. "It felt like the whole concert became a story," one attendee later wrote online. "The silence, the comeback, the ending, everything connected." That storytelling quality may explain why the Minneapolis show has generated such strong reactions online compared to other stops on the Romantic tour. Stadium concerts are usually remembered for giant visuals, celebrity appearances, or surprise songs, but this show became memorable because of vulnerability. For 10 minutes, nobody knew what would happen next, and when Bruno Mars came back out, the audience responded not just as fans watching a performer, but as participants inside a shared moment of uncertainty and release. Entertainment columnist Marcus Reed described the incident as the kind of live moment algorithms can't manufacture. "Today's concert world, so much is optimized for social media," Reed wrote, "but what happened in Minneapolis felt unscripted and authentic." That's why people connected with it emotionally. The moment also reinforced why Bruno Mars continues to maintain such a strong reputation as a live entertainer in an era dominated by highly automated performances. While many modern tours rely heavily on backing tracks and rigid production systems, Bruno's concerts still revolve around live band chemistry and audience interaction. That approach carries risks. When technical problems happen during fully live performances, there are fewer places to hide. But it also creates opportunities for unforgettable recoveries like the one Minneapolis witnessed. Industry insiders noted that fans often remember concerts with imperfections more vividly than technically flawless shows. Unexpected disruptions create emotional tension, and emotional tension creates lasting memories. In Minneapolis, that theory played out in real time. By the end of the night, the earlier silence inside US Bank Stadium no longer felt awkward or uncomfortable. Instead, it became the emotional setup for one of the loudest crowd reactions of the entire tour. And perhaps that is why the concert continues spreading across social media days later, not because everything went perfectly, but because it didn't, because thousands of people experienced the same uncertainty together. Because Bruno Mars walked back onto the stage after the silence and refused to let the night collapse. Because Uptown Funk suddenly meant more than just another hit song. And because for one unforgettable night in Minneapolis, a technical failure accidentally created the most human moment of the Romantic tour.